Election of chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. Brother Vice Chairman, will you elect us the chairman?
That's you.
Oh, wait, we gotta elect the chairman. Okay, floor is open to seek nominations for chairman of the Budget Finance Committee for this fiscal year.
I nominate Mark George.
We got two. Y'all, one more be a first and one's a second.
Second.
Okay, all right, we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations?
Motion for nominations to cease.
Motion is made for nominations to cease. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
A second. All right. All in favor of Mr. Dorff being chairman of Budget Finance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Like sign. Congratulations, sir.
Okay, the floor would now be open for vice chairman.
Second.
Third. We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Do I have a motion for nominations to seat?
Second.
And elected by acclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Opposed? Opposed?
Okay, thank you. I'll note that.
That doesn't count.
Note that. Note that.
And Ms. Mark is gonna be our secretary.
She was voluntold.
We do not need nothing for that. Okay, and at this point, we'll move to item number 4, which is Fund 101. Ms. Heather, you want to talk to us about those?
Yes, sir.
Pages 1 through 5 of the County General Fund. Start on page 1. All the items on page 1 are line item transfers. I can go through them quickly. Please stop me if there's any questions, but these are just line item transfers. The first one for the assessor's office, just moving from $100 from in-service to travel. The second one under the trustee's office, just moving some money from in-service and travel. Moving money from office equipment into service and travel. County clerk is the third one, moving some money from deputy payroll line items into office equipment and a little money for medical dental services. Those are the drug tests. Circuit court clerk, fourth one there, just moving $250 from postage into equipment memberships. And the fifth one, general sessions court, moving $380 some there from postage into office equipment and drug testing.
Any questions on page 1? Hearing none, we're moving to 2.
Second page, these are all line item transfers as well. The first one there, sheriff's office, just moving some money from in-service staff development to cover a little bit of overage in some of the LBL patrol wages, as well as a little extra money needed dues, maintenance, repair vehicles, and towing services. The next one is the EMA, moving money from supplies and office supplies into custodial supplies. The third one is the coroner's office, that's moving money from equipment into supplies, that's $30. The fourth one, that's the local health center or medical center here in county. That is $382, moving from other charges into pest control and office equipment. And the last one is the EMS, moving $3,500 from tuition that's not going to be needed this year into maintenance, repair equipment, refunds, pest control, and other charges.
Any questions on page 2? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Page 3, these are where we have either new monies or grants. The first one, this is for the special election for Ward 1 Cumberland City. That's going to be held on February 18th of this year. The election commission met with their board and they will need $7,500 in full. There potentially will be some reimbursement from Cumberland City, but right now we're just going to offset the total cost there from $7,500 with an increase we're already over in our budget for investment income for this year. But that's the money that the trustee put some CDs and that kind of thing. Interest rates have held pretty well since we've done budget, so we're meeting and exceeding that revenue number. Second one, that's the sheriff's office. That's a $1,000 donation they received. They're asking for it to be put into their budget to be used for law enforcement equipment. The third one, again, sheriff's office. This was an insurance recovery for repair to a patrol vehicle. That's simply money we got from the insurance company to offset the cost. The fourth one there is the jail. This is a new grant. They had this grant last year for $15,000. They received it again this year. So it's 100% match on the grant. They'll get $15,000 and they are to use that money for furniture and fixtures and some building improvements in the Sheriff's Office Detention Center for a training room and training programs. And the last one is the jail as well. That is a small amount there just from some miscellaneous refunds to cover a double payment on a check that's getting back applied to their buildings maintenance repair.
Any questions on page 3? Hearing none, let's go forward.
Page 4, the first one is the coroner. You hear this from me every year. We already can see an increase in our autopsy costs again, as well as some training costs. We're asking to take money from the increase in interest income to offset those added expenses this year. Second one is the EMA. That's a grant they get every year. That's the Homeland Security grant, a little over $21,000 they're going to get, and that is to be used on equipment, communication equipment. The third one there is the EMS. That is an insurance. It was actually the ambulance that was involved in the Dollar General. We had separate claims for the property inside the ambulance, and on this specific one, we usually have to pay a $1,000 deductible. This one, the deductible did not apply, so we got the reimbursement for it. The fourth one is the medical center. That's other local health, and that's not the medical center. It's under the same department, but it's other local health services. That is the big TDEC water grant. That's the water utility grant where we're working with West Stewart Utility, North Stewart Utility, and Dover. So that grant is just under the $3 million you see right there. I'm sure I'll have amendments once we get into the grant and we know exactly how much we spent, say, on engineering, et cetera, but it is all be used for construction on those water utility projects. And then the very last one there is the library. These are simply donations and some extra reserve money she had. She's just asking me to be put into, so she can spend this year, library books and supplies and equipment.
Any questions on page 4? Hearing none, let's go back.
Page 5, the first one is the veteran services. With change in personnel, we had an increase in health insurance costs, so we're going to offset that with the increase in interest income as well. The next one, this one, I'm sure the mayor will speak to this, but I'll just at least say the actual amendment itself, we got a payment in lieu TBA payment. We're asking to use $85,095 of that to be contributed for road work to be completed at the Stewart Houston Industrial Park. And the page right after that, 5A, is a resolution that will go with it, that will be presented to the full commission. I just put it in there for reference, since that goes along with the actual amendment. I'll speak to the other two, and then if anybody has a question on that one, we can come right back. But the third one is the Sheriff's Office. The state went ahead and gave an additional supplement to SRO officers. 4 of our officers were eligible. So they're going to get $800 each. That was the $3,200. And then the last one there, this is a situation where a property assessor had a current attorney. Fortunately, he did pass away recently, so she's needing to hire a new attorney. So she's sought out the assistance of the Law Office of Charles Parks, and there's going to be some additional appeal cases, and she's asking to hire him, but they do need more money in the budget to do that. And that'll be offset with interest income as well.
Any questions on page 5? 5A is a resolution. Let's go 6.
6 is me. It's 3 different funds. The first one is the drug control fund, asking to move $6,000 out of reserve monies that they had. So to put that into more spending for them this year would be in animal food supplies and in-service staff development for canine animals training and supplies. The second one is out of the Fund 127. That's the other special revenue. We already spent all the principal. That was the ARPA-free revenue account that we've been dealing with the last few years, but now we do have the interest that's still sitting in there. So there was a request, came from the school, for us to share the cost of a new tire changing machine and tire balancer. So that cost right there is 50% of the cost that we can take from that interest, if approved, to cover the cost. And that machine is used for the different county vehicles that are maintenance garage, or bus garage, I guess you'd say, does service like our ambulances or patrol vehicles, and then some other county vehicles that we have. And the last one is the General Capital Projects Fund 171. That's moving $10,000 from restricted money. Basically it's litigation tax revenue, so we can offset a cost. We had another AC heating unit go down in the detention center, this one in the main admin office area. So it was a little over 10,000, but we're asking they had some money in their budget and then they need an extra 10 to cover that cost.
Any questions on page 6? Hearing none? Ronnie, it's your turn. Thank you, Eddie.
money, just moving some around.
All line item.
Yep.
Anybody got any questions for Ronnie on page 7? Hearing none, thank you, Ronnie. Next is school, 141.
Okay, the first two are moving money from fund balance for some construction projects. One is at the high school with, concession stand, bathrooms for the baseball, softball facility, and a golf facility. The second one is for a roof at North Stewart, replacing the roof at the elementary school. The third one is Head Start collaboration money that comes from the Head Start program. That's just moving it in for a teacher stipend and new playground equipment for the pre-K classrooms. The page 9 is a state grant, state special ed grant. That's just appropriating the money so we can hire an assistant to help out in the special ed pre-K.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Budget approved. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Consider